Hello students, welcome back to my channel Biology with Priya Jain. Today we'll be continuing with the chapter Pollination and Fertilization part 5. The topic for this video is fruit and seeds. Topics to be covered in this video are review of the previous video, fruit, significance of fruit, seeds, significance of seed, and lastly some important questions. So to take a review of the flower, as you know children, the flowers are the reproductive organs of the flowering plants. The male part is the stamen or the androecium, which produces pollens, that is the male gametes in the anther. And the female organ is the carpel or the gynoecium, which contains egg, that is the female gamete, and is the site for the fertilization. Now the development of embryo and endosperm proceeds within the embryo sac. Now the embryo sac wall enlarges and absorbs the substances of the nucleus. Now endosperm is a tissue which forms inside around the developing embryo in the seed, and it provides nutrition to the embryo. Here in the figure you can see the female reproductive structure, gynoecium. It contains stigma, style and ovary. The pollen grains are present on the stigma. This pollen grain grows a tiny tube towards the ovule and enters into the ovary. Inside the ovary, you see the ovules are present. They are having egg cells, which are the female sex cells. Fruit. The development of the fruit and from the flower starts from the stage of fertilization. Now the ovary develops into the fruit and the ovary wall turns into the fruit wall. The ovule turns into the seed. The outer and the inner integument of the ovule becomes the seed coat of a seed. The eggs form the embryo. Now the fusion of the male nuclei along with the female nuclei in ovule leads to the development of the zygote. The synergids then degenerate and the antipodal cells also degenerate. These degenerate just immediately after the process of fertilization, but the micropyle remains as it is. The endosperm mother cell turns into endosperm. The endosperm functions to provide nutrition in the form of starch and protein to the developing embryo. Now let us study about the significance of fruit. Firstly, protection. The developing fruit protects the seed from unfavorable conditions like mechanical injury and pests. Next one is dispersal. Fruits help in the dispersal of seeds to distant places. Next, animal food. Fleshy fruits are eaten by animals who also disperse the seeds to other places. The fruits provide nutrition to the germinating seeds. They are also very much important for humans. Next we go to seeds. Plants begin its life with seeds. Seed is the final outcome of the sexual reproduction. A seed is an embryonic plant enclosed in a protective outer covering. The formation of seed is a part of process of reproduction in seed plants. Now, a seed contains an embryo and some food material stored in the embryo. The embryo inside seed remains inactive or dormant. You can call it as in resting stage till it gets the favorable condition to germinate. The zygote divides to form the embryo. The embryo consists of a root-like structure which is called as radicle and a stem-like structure which is called as plumule, and one or two leaf-like structure which are called as cotyledons. The embryo is developed from the zygote and the seed coat is developed from the integuments of the ovule. Now we can define seeds as a matured ovule which consists of an embryonic plant with storage of food and surrounded by a protective seed coat. Ovules develop into the seeds. You can say a seed is a mature ovule just after the fertilization. Now let us study about the significance of seeds. Dependable method. Seed formation is a dependable method. This is because pollination and fertilization of seed plant does not require water. Perennation. Seeds are dry and have a dormant embryo with a thick protective seed coat. Thus, it is suitable for perennation during unfavorable condition. Next, we go to dispersal. Seeds have the ability to disperse to a new habitat. Reserve food. Seeds contain reserved food for nourishing the young seedlings until they are capable of producing food on their own. Variation. Seeds are produced by sexual reproduction. Due to this, they carry a number of variation which helps them to adopt different environmental conditions. And lastly, storage. Seeds have stored food supply throughout the year, especially during the unfavorable conditions. Now children, we can define the seeds as a basic agricultural input and it is an embryo embedded in the food storage tissue. Seed can also be defined as a matured ovule which consists of an embryonic plant with storage of food and surrounded by a protective seed coat. I hope children you must have understood the chapter Pollination and Fertilization. Now for complete understanding of the chapter, you can watch all the 5 parts of this chapter Pollination and Fertilization, in which I have described separately about pollination, self and cross pollination, agents of pollination, fertilization, and lastly fruits and seeds. Here are some important questions. So you can answer these questions in your notebooks. Number 1. What is fertilization? Explain with diagram. Draw a labeled diagram of ovule. Number 3. Write difference between insect pollinated and wind pollinated flowers. 4th. Differentiate between the following. Firstly, seed and fruit. Next one is anemophily and entomophily. 5th question is, what happens to the following after the process of fertilization? Ovary, ovule, egg cell and the secondary nucleus. I hope you must have liked the video. You must have understood the topic which I have taught in this video. So children, thanks for watching the video. Please like, subscribe and share my channel Biology with Priya Jain. If you have any queries, you can use the comment section. Thank you, children.